అలా హాయ్ గాయ్స్, ఈరోజు వచ్చేసి మన కేటీఎం షోరూమ్ వాళ్ళు ఒక చిన్న ఈవెంట్ అయితే ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు అనమాట మన కోసము. అంటే మన బైక్స్ తీసుకొచ్చి అడ్వెంచర్ టైప్ కొంచెం ట్రైనింగ్ లాగా, కొంచెం ప్రొఫెషనల్ ట్రైనింగ్ లాగా ట్రైనింగ్ ఇస్తున్నారు అనమాట ఈరోజు. ఇది ఎక్కడ ఉందంటే కీసర దగ్గర ఏదో పార్క్ ఉంది. నేను అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి డీటెయిల్స్ లొకేషన్స్ అయితే చెప్తాను. ఇది మనం రీసెంట్గా తీసుకున్న హెల్మెట్. మనకైతే ఇట్లా ఉంటుంది సెటప్ అయితే వ్లాగింగ్కి. జాకెట్ కూడా కొనుక్కున్నాను కొంచెం సేఫ్టీ, కానీ మ్యాక్సిమం జాకెట్ లేకపోతే అలా ఉండదంట లోపల. అట్లా అని జాకెట్ కూడా తీసుకున్నాను సేఫ్టీ జాకెట్. ఇప్పుడు మనం వచ్చేసి కీసర, ఆల్మోస్ట్ కీసర దగ్గర ఉన్నాం. వెళ్ళాలి అటు బయలుదేరినాక మీకు కొంచెం అన్ని వీడియోస్ అనేవి పెడతాను కొంచెం, ఓకేనా? యాక్చువల్లీ ఈరోజు వెళ్ళేది మొత్తం మనకు అడ్వెంచర్ గురించి కోచింగ్ అనమాట. ఎలా నడపాలో అడ్వెంచర్ బండిస్తూ బైక్ ఎలా నడపాలని కోచింగ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి ఒకట రైడు అండ్ మనకున్న సెట్టింగ్స్, ట్రాక్షన్ మోడ్, అవన్నీ కూడా ఎట్లా యూజ్ చేయాలో కూడా డీటెయిల్గా చెప్తారు అన్నమాట. ఇది మన కోచింగ్ అయితే. ఇది యాక్చువల్ మనకు షోరూమ్కి అయితే కాల్ వచ్చింది వెళ్ళామని. దీనికి ఫీజు అయితే ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఫీజు అయితే మనకి ఈవెంట్కి వచ్చేసి ఒక 1500 ఛార్జ్ చేశారు లోపల కాదు, బుక్ చేసుకున్నాము. ఓకే, మనకు టిఫిన్ లంచ్ కూడా ఇంక్లూడే ఉంటుంది లోపల. మనకైతే 7:15కి అయితే ఇచ్చారు మీటింగ్ టైము. ఇక మనం చూడాలి ఈరోజు మార్నింగ్ అయితే 5:30 కదా బయలుదేరాలి. మనం చూడాలి అన్నీ. పెట్టండి కామెంట్స్ నెక్స్ట్ ఎట్ వెళ్ళాలో. అంటే ఆల్రెడీ పెట్టారు ఇప్పుడు శ్రీశైలం అని. కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది, మనం కొంచెం వేరే ప్లానింగ్ ఉంది. కొంచెం లోకల్స్ అలా అబౌవ్ 50 అబౌవ్ 100 అయితే మనం వెళ్దాం. అప్పట్లో కొంచెం నంబర్ ప్లేట్ వచ్చేదాం. ఇదే అనమాట మన పార్క్ వచ్చేసి. వాళ్ళు లోపల మొత్తం ఆఫ్ రోడ్ మనకు బెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ రోడింగ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కోసం ఇదంతా మన ట్రాక్ అనమాట. ఇది ఆఫ్ రోడింగ్ ట్రాక్స్ అంటారు. ఇది లెవెల్లో పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ చేయాలి మనం. రీచ్ బైక్ లైన్గా రెడీ ఉన్నాయి. ఫైనలీ అయితే రీచ్ అయిపోయినాం స్పాట్కి. ఇక్కడ ఫస్ట్ క్లాసెస్ ఇస్తారు మనకు, డైరెక్ట్ ట్రాక్ చేయకుండా క్లాసెస్ ఇస్తారు. క్లాసెస్ ఇచ్చినాక మనకు రైడ్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. వెనకాల మొత్తం ఒక 10-12 మెంబర్స్ అయితే వచ్చేసారు. మన రైడే స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయాక చెప్పు బ్రో. హాయ్
हाय मेरा बड़ा भाई डू लाइक एंड शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब.
ప్రెజెంట్ అయితే మెంబర్స్ అందరు వచ్చేసినారు. ఇక స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. మోర్ దెన్ 5 minutesలో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది మనకు రైడ్. బైక్స్ అని యూజువల్గా వెనకాల బ్యాక్ సైడ్. ఓకే
లైట్ ఇటే ఉంది కదా, ఇక్కడ దిగాలి. ఏం ఛానల్ బ్రో ఇది?
అన్నా రోషన్ వర్క్స్ అన్న.
రోషన్
వర్క్స్ ఇప్పుడే మొత్తము లైట్గా కోచింగ్ ట్రైనింగ్ అయితే ఇచ్చారు. సేఫ్టీ గురించి దాని ఎట్లా రైడ్ చేయాలన్నట్టు. ఇది ఆల్మోస్ట్ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతుంది మనకు రైడ్. మనకు వచ్చేసి మొత్తం సేఫ్టీతో ఉంటుంది అనమాట. లోపల అంబులెన్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి మనకు. ఇప్పుడే క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది. 1 hour ఉండే క్లాస్ అయితే. అంబులెన్స్ అవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. సేఫ్టీకి అయితే భయపడేది అవసరం ఉండదు. మ్యాక్సిమం 90% సేఫ్టీ గురించే చెప్తాడు. ఇంకోటి మన బైక్లో ఎన్నెన్ని ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయో, ఏమేమి ఫీచర్స్ ఉన్నాయో అన్నీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తుంటాడు. ఓకేనా, ఒకసారి వెళ్ళేసి చూద్దాం. ఫర్ మీ చలో రైడ్ అయితే స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. ఏమైంది బ్రో? ఫస్ట్ రైడ్ అయిపోయినాక టిఫిన్ బ్రేక్. ప్లీజ్ గో టు ద టిఫిన్ బ్రేక్.
స్పీకర్
అట్లా ఉండదు, అట్లా దిగుతూ
చిన్న క్లిప్ ఉంటుంది
45 days.
ఇందాకే
if you are going up and the bike shut off or gets stalls, how do you recover from there? Okay, yeah, this is the day, and at the end, if everybody have the energy, then we will also do the trail inside the park only. Okay, clear? Done? Let's go.
check point to reset film.
Comes the bike. Favorite thing. The bike must be in this situation, correct, or in this situation, correct, and it got off, obviously, because it is not rotating. Or might be in the first gear, the tires are above the ground, so still rotating, correct. So what do you do? First and foremost thing is that ignition off, bike off. Take, breathe. If you think that the something would, then you know there is a lot of liquid in the bike, petrol, coolant, oil filter, lot of things there as in liquid, right? And you think that it will start falling, so I need to lift it. No. At an angle beyond 50, if the bike crashes the ground, all the liquid that is being flowing in the bike will shut in that scenario. So basically, the moment the bike leans beyond an angle, all the liquid that is flowing in the bike will cut off. So nothing to worry that any of the liquid will follow.
So bikes are, you mean to say bikes are designed for
Yes,
turn
correct.
Every bike or only the KTM?
You have answered it yourself, man. I tried doing the same in one of the legendary bikes, but there was petrol leak, there was engine oil leak, so a lot of things, and we all know that bike, okay?
because we have experienced it, the bike gets turned off.
Yes, so after an angle, once the bike crashes, the bike turns off, all the liquid that is being flowing is cut. So nothing to worry about the leakage also. Okay? Now the next step, how do you lift it? So you go, first thing, turn off the bike, see if the bike is in gear. It is. Hold, open the stand. Now who can do this? Who knows it? You know how to do it? You want me to explain first? Yeah? I'll explain. Seen on YouTube. Very good. Now first thing first, stand up kiya. We saw that in gear, if it is in gear or not. Second thing that I do is I sit on the bike. You see, I'm almost relaxing on the bike. I'm not sitting here or trying to do force thing. No. I sit on the bike, right? Now comes, after sitting and placing myself, then comes my toes, my knees and my back. Now I will not do this. I'll keep it perpendicular because I have to lift the bike from here with the support of my knees and the toes. Okay? Place it where your knees are not going beyond the toes. What do? Try to reach the handlebar. Try to pull it in. Once this is done, you hold the grab rail. Now you see, look up. Do not do this and try to lift. This will not help you. Okay? So you hold this. You see this? I'm still on the bike. I'm not here. You are able to see most of them commit this mistake of coming here the moment they hold the grab rail and handlebar. So lift. Now you see, look up, lift till here, shift your hips, push the bike back. Saw this? Here, shift hips, push. Got it?
Yeah.
If you start pushing it from the ground, it won't happen. Okay, so you are here, shift it, push it. Correct? Yeah. Who wants to try?
I have another question. Luckily, you don't.
Somebody's charging up. Okay. Answering your first question, not stepping onto foot peg or anything. Okay. First question. Most of you said that you get scared of things like the front wheel might slide out or wash out. To answer that, there is a simple trick that you have to do. It is all about placing your body right on the bike. Okay? The front wheel would never slide. I will take good amount of time in explaining how you can set up the bike for your off-road and on-road. If you have time.
Yes.
If you want to rush, then I have to keep it that way. So it's on you.
We have time.
You have time? While this session is going to be a little bigger then, because you opted for it. Now let's do it. See, now the moment you sit here, you're good on a
Understood.
Okay, I will make it very simple for you. Trail braking is nothing in simple term, increasing the distance of braking. In simple terms, if I have to tell you, without getting your wheel locked. Okay, the front wheel basically. So what happens, instead of applying a pressure like this, you're applying pressure like this. You got it? So slowly your bike is coming to a, and you try to hit. You will have some pain, but it will still go. Right? Now imagine if you just close everything and try to hit it, you will have that pain coming and the pressure hitting your palm, right? Or you punch also, correct? So what is happening? You are trying to reduce the amount of pressure that is coming by deflecting over here. You got it? So that the entire weight that has been thrown on the bike through the wind, there is a pressure, there is a force that is coming. So that has been deflected and also been reduced. Okay, so that you do not have entire thing coming onto the bike. So something you have to keep to get it deflected. You understood the water wala part, right? Correct? Now what I do is, when I am not able to see or ride, I either try to see it from here or try to see it from side. When I am, see, generally I stand and ride most of the time. If somebody is sitting, this has experience personally with me. So when I was in Goa, I was riding through a sludge road and I had to keep a pillion with me because we were just moving out. I realized either I can see it from here while sitting or I see it from both the sides. So I have that habit of looking from the side and riding. So that is what I have figured out.
That's what I've been doing, because if I look from here now, I can't see till there. But
You
usually I'm
either
constantly
have to
doing
see
this,
it here or see it from the side.
Right.
Huh? Now I'll quickly jump on to the body position. Okay, how do we sit on the bike? What is the first? Yeah, take it. How do you sit on the bike?
Hug the tank.
Hug
and
the tank,
pegs
tank,
has to
okay.
be- Your legs have to be on the pegs properly.
Okay. How do you place it on the pegs?
Toe ball,
Why?
better grip,
No.
better control.
Okay. And
Because I'm trying that in last 1 week. I used to use the rear brake more
like
often.
you used to keep it like this and the brake.
Now
more off?
there is better control and with respect.
Okay,
to
I want you all to stand up once. Now maintain some gap. Remove a chair a bit. Maintain gap. This is something pretty important. That boring, man, Omkar. Your car is not here, otherwise I would have allowed you for 4x4 track for sure. But yeah, like, why do you think it is ball of the feet? How do you steer off-road or on the tarmac?
Hips.
Hips, no. Hips is something which is a combination of the other things as well.
Shoulder.
No,
I think you use
Core,
your
core.
knees and thighs on the tank.
no,
Core.
no. Core is a part of it. So yeah.
Don't say head.
So when you are riding off-road, the steering input comes from the pegs. Okay, it does not come from here.
How?
How? I'll show you. Now you realized how it was very balanced when you were on balls of the feet, right? You were able to control your entire body weight and everything, correct? Now when you are riding off-road, which is your primary brakes?
Front.
Why? अभी सबने बोला front तो अभी बताओ why?
90% braking power is in the front.
Yeah, that I understood. But what I'm trying to ask you is why?
So the front has the ABS always on.
That is okay.
Because it won't lock up.
It won't lock. Understood.
Because when you brake,
If you keep ABS on, rear would also not lock ever.
because when you brake front,
Uh-huh.
your suspension gets loaded
Okay.
and maximum of your contact patch is on the front.
Okay.
So better control.
Correct. What you said is right. So when you are, why front is important and the most used brakes when you are riding or on the tarmac or off-road? Because the moment, let's suppose you're riding at 70, okay, what would be your first step to do when you saw something in middle? It's not an emergency situation, don't worry, you need to slow down. What do you do?
Engine braking,
80, 90, let's suppose you're riding 90, and then what do you do?
Engine brake and
front brake and then brake.
Engine
Get
braking is something that is a combination of lot of things, okay? Forget engine braking, what do you do?
front brake. You go for the front brake.
I use combo.
I'll be very confident to hit front, but I'll give some time for the rear
Okay,
I use
now
combo.
at the same time.
understood, we will use both. Now the moment you apply the front brakes, what happens to the bike? Or when you initiate braking, what happens to the bike?
The momentum
Dips,
shifts
dips,
towards the front.
dives.
It dives.
Yeah.
Now it dives, and then what happens?
The suspension gets loaded.
It gets loaded.
And then it pushes.
The traction on the front wheel gets the surface.
Correct. Now, as you are going in momentum, right? The moment, if you ever experience, you sat in a bus and the bus driver applies the brake, you tend to go forward, right? Because there is a gravity and a force that is pushing you forward, correct? Because there is motion of inertia. How many of you heard of?
Yeah,
You heard? How many of you are same like me, commerce? Very good. So in 11th, 12th I was science. Post that I realized I shouldn't be in science. So I jumped on to commerce. Now, motion of inertia is nothing when a force is pulling you forward and you are trying to balance. In simple terms, if I tell you, if you are traveling in a bus, somebody applies brake, the drivers basically, driver apply the brake, what happens to you? You tend to move forward, right? Then what is happening? The weight is being pushed forward. Similarly, when you are riding off-road or on the tarmac, the moment you apply the brakes, the entire weight which is being built with the momentum that you have been carrying comes to the forward. Okay? And there should be something that observes that entire mass being of coming from the back to the front to slow you down. So that dives the front suspension and create an extra bit of traction on the front wheel because it is diving in. Okay, so that is why front is where you get the maximum traction. Okay, so you always use front as 80, I would say. 70-30 people say. I would still say for these bike you use 80% front, 20% rear. In my case, if I have to explain it in a very, very simple term, for when you are riding off-road, front is used to let you slow down, okay, or stop. Rear is always used to change the direction of the bike. You got it? When you want to slow down, pull in the front, slow down, relax, nothing will happen to your bike, nothing will happen to the front wheel, it will not lock, don't worry about that. When you're riding, when you want to take a directional change in the bike, you apply the rear brake, lock the rear wheel, let the bike slide, and then it's your hips that is going to help you in which direction do you want to go in. That is a silver level academy that we will do eventually in next quarter. But for today, we will try to stop in a straight line by locking our rear wheel. Clear? Now, how do you sit? First, which is the first point of contact on the bike? How do you get on the bike?
Foot pegs,
Foot pegs? Anybody else?
handlebar,
Okay.
and seat. Grab.
Seat, of course. I don't want that Atlas cycle that don't used to have that, seat on the top. If you know what I mean. So yeah, what is the first point of contact?
Pegs.
Correct. Now, the first point of contact on the bike is the foot pegs. And how do you place your feet is always on balls of the feet. Okay? Not on the heels, not on the arches. It's always, or not even on the toes. It's always on balls of the feet. Got it? Now, why is what you have understood or you did not understand till now? Understood, right? You try to steer the bike from here. You see? Correct? You try to steer it from here, not from the handlebar. Okay? Basic input is okay to give to the handlebar, but the moment you give input, now I'll tell you one more scenario why it is like foot peg. Imagine you are riding on these surface, right, where you have the loose soil and all. Imagine you are riding like this and you gave this input. What happens? Now you see the mud under the bike, okay? See what is happening? it is throwing the mud, right? That means the force of the bike is going in this direction, but you are forcing the bike to move here. This moment is going this side and you are forcing the bike to move this side. That means what? You will dig the front wheel and you will crash. The lean is always done in this way on the bike. This. Okay? If you see, there is the right end of the bike, the outer side of the tires are being lifted. That means there is a curve angle that is being created. Now the more you apply pressure on the pegs, the more it leans. Okay, and you shift your weight outside in off-road. That we will do now during the cones, so you will understand that part as well. Okay. Oh. Now if you see clearly, if you want to be more technical and you want to ride it into, like, you know, some kind of dirt bikes and all, then what do you do is, just for your clarification, your ankle, this thing, heels should be perpendicular to your hip bone right here, so that you are into the right position. So this is how you should be sitting when you want to do hardcore off-road. Basically, when you want to do hardcore, you stand and ride. I understand it is not easy for everyone to stand and ride all the time. So this is why I'm giving you the basics. How do you sit? So you place your hips forward, be it perpendicular to the heels, and then comes the front part. So you don't do like this or like this on the bike. You always keep it straight and chest out. You got it? You see, I was like this. Now chest out. Now chest out is towards the sky. Do not do this. Do not do this. Chest out. That's it. Okay? And then keep your head forward, or else you will have pain. If I do this, I have pain in here, the tailbone. That is what I want to avoid. So I keep it forward. Chest out and head forward. Now comes the hands. I should form a C. Okay? You got it? I should form a C where my elbows are open all the time. Correct? So this goes this way. Now bike setup, I'll tell you in quick. Please don't mind my bent levers. Been using it really hard for a few days now. Now see, you have to adjust the lever positions also, because if the factory setup that comes in is here. Now when it is here, the levers, what is happening, you have to hold, like you hold 2, 4 fingers and all. That is wrong. Start using 2 or 1. I use 1, I use 2, depending on fatigue that I am having or how long I have been riding. Now if it is, the factory setup comes here. Now what is happening, the moment the levers are here, I have to push my elbows up because this wrist is getting locked. Now imagine if I just shift it down where it is exactly right now. Now the moment it shifts, the elbows comes up, the knuckle bones are pointed forward, and it becomes easy for me to be in the right setup. You got it? So you need to push the levers little down so that you are naturally in the right body position. Got it? Now how do you shift? You need a spanner of like 8 this side and 10 on that side, so you will be able to adjust it. Don't know, and you have that in the toolkit, so nothing to worry. Now this is done. Your chest out and chest towards the sky, head always looking forward. Don't look to the front wheel, always look forward. Similar on this side as well. Okay, now any doubt in sitting? No doubt.
I felt
right?
when we are sitting, almost sitting on the tank is also okay.
Yeah, I prefer, because you know, the moment you start sitting on the top, you will have lot of fun at the corners because you will be able to keep the rear light. So the moment you want to give throttle, it will slide as much as you want. If you keep it here, what happens, the moment you give throttle, no, I'll explain this, you might have experienced this for sure. The moment you are sitting here, okay, if you lean the bike at the corner while sitting and give throttle, no, the bike tends to move out so that you can push into the corner. In this way, this body is also moving with the rear, right? I want to get detached from the rear, that is why I sit forward. Got it?
Another thing is, lot of people are going in for, you know, modification of the seat and all. Once I started sitting onto the tank, I have not felt the need for a softer seat.
See,
So-
Okay, so I'll answer this. This is very individually driven kind of thing.
Very personal.
Uh, personal is a very big word though. This is very individually driven. For me, I've been used to use a cushion kind of pants that you get in Decathlon or you get it somewhere else. If you feel that is stiff, I use that.
The cycling shorts again.
Yes, correct. So I use cushion pants, so that I get, because people made lot of things. You need a softer seat, but they have to understand they're buying something which is inspired by a rally design. Action setting.
Hard.
Soft.
Hard.
How many of you with hard? 5 of you. Hard. How many of you with hard? Oh, soft.
It all depends on
Omkar is with no one. He's like, I don't care, man. You answer it. Okay. So when you are riding on highway, it should be soft or hard is what my question is.
Hard. Not completely hard, but
If weight is more, I think it should
optimally
go for
hard.
Okay, guys.
To keep
When
the-
you are riding on highway, you keep it soft. When you are riding off-road, you keep it hard. Don't get into that psychological mind training कि यार मेरे को तो hard चाहिए ना, highway पे उतना bump थोड़ी ना होता है. Bump नहीं होता है. But you want the bike to be very stable, because when you are riding on highway, you are aggressively riding at a higher speed, where the input needs to be balanced in the same way. Correct? That is why now when you are riding off-road, you have to keep it stiff. Okay, now why do you keep it stiff is because in off-road there is lot of input that is coming from the terrain, because you are riding either uphill, downhill, jumps or anything of that sort. So you don't want your bike to take too much time in compression and rebounding, right? You keep it stiff.
Without keeping it hard on the tarmac. Makes
So
it
if you keep it hard,
planted.
if you keep it hard, your tailbone will always pain. Okay. Yeah. Now coming to handlebar. Now most of the session is over. Those who want to relax, they can relax. Those who want to know about the handlebar, I'll tell you. The riser. Now you see the handlebar. If you see, this is already at an angle which is like this. See here, which is like this, going on little top. Now the handlebar is designed in a way where you can adjust it according to your size and all, hand size, and how do you feel it comfortable. Now if you think that you need a riser, what I would suggest is, before going for a riser, open these two Allen key, push the handlebar little forward. You will feel that the handlebar has raised from a angle to a different angle, because the shape of handlebar is like this. Okay, you just need to push it little forward. You will not have that feeling of having a riser.
Even the switch assemblies are,
That will happen, of course.
they are adjustable? No.
Yeah, these are adjustable. You have bolts here. You can open and adjust it how you want it to.
You wanted to talk about the features as well, so that's cut down.
Feature,
Just
yeah,
MTC
we'll
and
talk about
ABS.
it. Now in this bike you get 3 riding modes. S. Okay. Now in S there are 3 riding modes: street, rain, off-road. Okay. Now what is the difference between all these 3?
ABS
Power.
and traction control.
Power. Okay. Power, ABS and traction control. What else?
Is it
Input.
Reading of inputs from the ECU and delivering it to the bike. That is the major thing. So we get 3 modes. In all these 3 modes you get different inputs of throttle. Okay. In off-road you can change the response of throttle as well. In throttle, if you go to off-road mode, you will go to configure, you will go to throttle response. In off-road mode only you can change it either to street or to off-road. Okay, if you feel that off-road is too aggressive, then you shift it to street, and it will be, the graph of it would be like this. I have explained. Any doubts in MTC?
It doesn't allow you to slide. That is the
Not naturally, it calculates the amount of traction your rear wheel needs in wherever you are riding.
and it translates to
ECU translated to the